Welcome to Tuesday Morning Coffee Rant with Dan, and this is going to be a little bit of a rant. I am getting quite fond of doing these things on Tuesday or Tuesday morning, just as I will be doing Thursday tack checks on the regular pretty soon, with all the ridiculousness going on in the world. It's important to stay healthy and work out. I'm lucky enough to have access to things like vitamin B. So maybe once a month, once every other month, I'll do one of these things, and trust me, it's only vitamin B. And like I can make my own meme. Govern me harder, Daddy. Yeah, I don't think I'll do that. Yeah, just vitamin B. Anyway, sharps, safety. So, what I'm going to talk about this morning is I haven't forgotten about doing TAC Chat number 49. TAC Chat number 49, I'm going to be unpacking the major part of the rest of Rise from Darkness. And I'm going to go into my events that led up to a spiritual awakening. And I check out TAC Chat 48. I started it off. I really painted a good picture on that. I'm going to go back in time just a little bit and get a little more exact on the events that led to the spiritual awakening, which led to me seeking subsequent enlightenment, because they are different. And I explain that in my book, and I'm going to explain that in that podcast. And I'm going to talk about in Rise from Darkness. One of the things that I want to talk about, and this is coming up in TAC Chat number 49. I'm working on it. I'm either going to drop it this week or next week. I'm going to talk about, a tachoscopic flash that I got hit with by our .gov friends, and it was legit. This is shit that they do, and I worked at a low level, but they still were playing games. And I don't know if anyone follows Dr. Stephen Greer's work. I find it a lot of what he says to be it has the ring of truth to me, and I've researched these things, and it makes sense. I've read other books on these things about reverse engineer technology and stuff like that, and fake alien invasion. That's going to be one of their final cards that they play. You call me conspiracy theorist. I am a conspiracy analyst, and I do research, which is what everybody should be doing. And I'm willing to be wrong on anything. That's really vitally important. Be wrong. Okay, once you actually could admit you're wrong at something, it really is quite liberating, because then you realize, hey, I'm not perfect, and I don't have to be perfect, right? So I'm going to play a quick clip for you from a recent video that he posted, because he's got something coming up in June. June's going to be a big month. A new documentary titled UFO Endgame to Disclosure, Whistleblowers, UFO, UAPs, Dr. Greer DC event. So that's going to be coming out in June. I'm interested in watching that. We are coming up on the end game. The reason I really like Dr. Greer's work is because it's very similar to what a lot of other people are talking about in terms of the New World government that they're trying to, looks like they're going to actually put into place. Of course, a lot of us are not digging that. We're for a New World Order, but we're not for a New World government where we're all slaves. But that's getting kind of hard to convince people of. But I still think there's hope, only because something's been trying to wake people up for a while. So something is on our side. But what I find interesting about what he says is him and I got to interview David Icke last year, about a year ago. Actually, a year ago to today. What a synchronicity. Yes, it is. Holy crap. Yes, I interviewed him on 411 information 1 year ago today. I got to interview him. So they have a lot of similar takes on what's going on, with the New World government and what they're trying to do. And but they have one vital difference where, Mr. Icke's theory on extraterrestrials with the Anunnaki reptilians don't mean us well, and at least a good part of them don't. Some of them don't. If you read into any of that other stuff, some of them kind of do. where Dr. Stephen Greer believes all the extraterrestrials are actually for us and not against us. Just a small discrepancy they have. Other than that, they agree on like 90% of the stuff. So I really, Dr. Greer, I know you're a busy guy, but if you end up coming across this, I would love to talk to you. Researched your work as well as his, and I'd like to ask just a couple questions. It's not some, if you look at any of my stuff, just in case you happen to see this, in between all the craziness I know you got going on, it isn't some type of ambush interview or anything like that. You can check out my interview with David Icke on any number of my platforms if you happen to see this. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys see something real quick because I went through this myself when I worked for the Gov, and it came after a work-related injury. It's very sobering for people, and I want my ex-order followers to take a real good look at this and pay attention to what's going on in the world, because they're going to throw you under the bus, guys, gals, brothers, sisters, because you're worth saving. You're human. Okay, so anyway, let me go to this and check this out for a few minutes.
Call for, and I have not talked about this before, is that there be an immediate investigation, criminal investigation, subsequent to these open hearings that are being now talked about actually occurring by the Department of Justice to prosecute those who have been involved in felonious activity, drug running, money laundering, threats and intimidation, assassinations, so-called wet works, the use of force to kill people who know too much. All of that needs to be moved quickly into an investigation, because I have dealt just recently with two very key top secret witnesses who have been had this sort of a dirty bag of tricks played on them. Remember, at this time also with AI and what they call deep fakes, both audio and video deep fakes, they can create anything. A man that I know not long ago, in the last 9 months, had a couple of men approach him, and they said, "Look at your phone." And on his phone, they had put horrible things on it and said to him, "You either keep your mouth shut, or you're going to go to prison and never see your children again for as long as you live," quote unquote. This is the kind of stuff I deal with day in and day out. Now, I think something like that should be immediately handed over to people with the investigatory power and prosecutorial power, that whoever did that should be arrested and tried for treason, number one, and then number two, felonious threats and intimidation and what have you. But see, this is the sort of thing that has happened for years. There are people who have documented over the last 70 years many occasions of this happening to either public officials, UFO researchers, or whatever. Now, with the kind of technology that exists, they could show you, having an affair with Kim Kardashian or whoever, and make it look like it was 100% real.
Yeah. I'll just end that at that, because that's kind of frightening to me. It's the last thing that I would want to personally have to go through. But they have the will to do it, as he was saying in this video. And you never know what they're going to do to anybody. So what he goes on to say is, you have to have the courage to speak up, and who cares? And that's what a lot of people are indeed doing. I have a theory that mythical 144,000 people that they spoke about in the book of Revelation, the warriors, legendary warriors of the rainbow, so to speak, right? I have a theory those 144,000 are the souls that do what they're supposed to do at this time in history. And so, don't know why it came to me, but I have a serious feeling that could be what that is. But that aside, I wanted to get that out of the way and just say, hey, I am going to be doing Tax Shack 49 and unpacking the rest of what I went through in terms of the tachyoscopic flash that I got hit with. and some of the things that I went through afterwards. I highly recommend checking out TAC Chat 48 if you haven't, before I put out TAC Chat 49. Now, some of the other stuff I put in the book that I really wanted to get to this morning, because there's a lot of it going on in the world, is how to spot manipulations, how to spot gaslighters, how to deal with them, how to sort of gain your strength back, gain your confidence back, take back your power, okay, and not let people overrun your boundaries. And when I say boundary setting, I'm not using boundary setting as some way of being selfish or getting out of a responsibility, which is what a lot of people try to do. I'm boundary setting. No, you're crossing my boundaries. And it's like, no, that's bullshit. You're using a hot button term that you're parroting and you don't even know what it is, with a lot of things what's going on. And it's not based in self-love. It's based in selfishness with those types of boundaries. And I see people do that all the time. With real boundaries, it's not self-love. I'm going to go as far as to say it should be self-respect. So one of the things that you need to do, and you could either say them out loud, think about them, which I'm going to kind of just run through a random list in my head today. But a lot of times it helps if you actually write them down, or type them down on a Word document and read them aloud, okay? Because we speak reality into existence, which is one of the reasons I'm going to speak about Rise from Darkness and not just put the book out there and hope people read it, because, this is the TikTok age. I'm going to have to talk about things, right? Probably make small videos on it, quick clips, right? So you have to write down a list of what are you a yes for and what are you a no for. And I found this was kind of helpful to me. So what am I a yes for and what am I a no for? Well, I'm a yes for honest and direct communication. I'm a no for any type of manipulation. And a lot of times people will do manipulations because they don't think they can get what they want from you in a direct manner, so they'll go about trying to. And it doesn't mean they got some dark, nefarious thing going on with them. But with what I've dealt with in my past, as soon as I detect any kind of manipulation, I withdraw. I can read it instantly. As soon as something doesn't jive or make sense. Okay? So I'm a no for manipulation. I'm a yes for direct communication. So that would be one thing. Now, what else am I a no for? I'm a no for coercion. I'm a yes for anything you do that doesn't bring harm or initiate harm or allow the harm of other beings. I am a no for coercion. I am a no for violence. I'm a no for gaslighting. And everyone knows what that is. Everyone hears these terms. Look it up and read it. It comes from a movie. I think it was back in the 30s, where someone will try to tell you that you didn't see or hear what you damn well know you've seen and heard. They'll just flat out deny it and try to make you question your reality. And there's a lot of that going on in the collective right now. Big, huge gaslight. It just really helps to make a list of what you absolutely will not deal with and what you will deal with, okay? I am a yes for being vetted for anything and proving myself maybe once or twice at the most. I am a no for anything more than that. If you have to prove yourself more than twice, the person probably has some type of mental disorder or some type of trauma around being betrayed. If someone's constantly trying to test your intentions or test your abilities, I'm an absolute no for having my abilities tested by anybody. And when it comes to the physical 3D realm of what I can physically do or not do, or my courage, both physically, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, I'm a complete no for being tested in any of those ways. I've passed those tests already. Okay? So when there's any type of manipulation regarding that, I'm a complete no for it. Most people haven't done what I've done, been where I've been, have bullets fly by their head, been stabbed. Read my first book, Violence and Ego. You'll see what I've been through. And I'm not bragging or talking shit. I was scared most of the time, but I had the courage to still act in spite of the fear that seemed to always be present. So, I'm not trying to be some tough guy. But that's all the more reason why I am a no for being tested. I've passed tests. I'm not passing anymore. And I have had in the past where people, want to continually just test you. And there has to come a time where you set a boundary out of self-respect. I'm not going to allow that. I'm a no for that. Okay, I'm a yes for proving myself once, maybe twice at the most. And everybody should be, personally. What else am I a no for? And there's a lot more that I'm a no for than what I'm saying. This is why you got to make a list. This is just a quick, short, just a thought process in your life. Because I talk about this stuff kind of in depth in the book. What are you really a yes and no for? Write those things down. Speak them aloud into the universe. And it goes with, what are you not going to do or do anymore? What don't you like? What do you want to get rid of? What do you want lifted from your soul? Write it down, speak it, and then crumble it up and throw it into a fire and be done with it. These little things you can do that will help. Take a glass of water, say a prayer to it, put it in the sun, and make sure it's not water out of the sink. Make sure it's purified water, and envision all the abundance and health and energy that this water is going to give to you. Say a prayer to the universe, to God with a capital G. Meditate upon that. It doesn't have to be a big glass. 6 ounces of water, drink it. Take another glass of water. And what do you want to get rid of? Okay? What don't you like? What habits do you have that you don't want? What are the things you need to let go? And take that glass of water. Do the same thing, but pour it in the toilet. These are just little tricks you could make, little things you could say out loud. I know it sounds kind of woo-woo, but if you look at the whole world is sort of a ceremonial place. There's always these different ceremonies going on, and right now we're in that time frame of the year, in the dark occult season of sacrifice. We just had another, active shoot yesterday in Kentucky this time. Yeah, that's going to be a lot in rural areas, man. We know those country people are crazy with their guns. This stuff is like checkers to me when I see it anyway. But yeah, you gotta decide in your life, what do you yes for, what do you no for, and really stick to those boundaries. It's just self-respect. It's not self-love. Okay. Although God rest his soul, my departed stepdad, he did tell me some stuff one time. He's older people always got more wisdom than you, man. Everyone's gonna have a little more wisdom than you. But he always said, if you can't look in the mirror and love that person that's you're looking at in the mirror, forget about loving anyone else. And that is completely true. So, I'm a yes for health. I'm a yes for exercising. I'm a yes for doing things. I'm a no for sitting on my ass and not doing anything. Definitely a no for manipulations. I'm a no for lies. And I'm not talking little white lies. Your butt don't look big in those pants. No, you look fine. You look great. No, those are little lies. Those are little, yes, they're lies sometimes. Absolutely. But it's for someone you care about and you're not trying to hurt them. That's different. I'm not talking about that kind of thing. You don't want to hurt someone's feelings or anything. I'm talking about I'm a no for manipulative lies to get me into some place good or bad. I can sense when something is insincere, and for me personally, I don't have to have these psychic abilities and this super empathic powers to be able to tell that, man. And we all do. And if you look to what's going on in the world, they're trying to manipulate everybody into certain areas, into certain things, into doing certain things, and we have to resist that. And don't get caught up too much in watching the news all the time. Watch it just enough to know what they're prepping us for next, because they are letting us know what's going to happen. The news is doing it. What they say is usually the opposite of what's really going on, but they are letting us know where they want to go, where the world's trying to go with all this bullshit. Okay. So with that said, I just wanted to put this out there as my Tuesday morning rant. I haven't forgotten about I haven't forgotten about Tax Chat 49. I'm putting it together. I want it to be good. It's probably going to be a 3-part thing, but the second part's going to be the main part. So if I put nothing out, that'll at least be out. I'm going to be on a couple more podcasts coming up pretty soon. And here locally, I'm going to be doing a radio talk show podcast where I'm going to be like a co-host to someone else's podcast. And interesting enough, this person is an ex-pharmaceutical guy. So me and him got some things in common that we don't like. He is political, and he knows what my beliefs are in government. He's a politically moderately right. It's kind of I think it's going to be kind of a cool thing because he looks like a clean cut, very well spoken, nice. He looks like he's a retired clean-cut cop that you would picture. Like maybe he was the chief of police someplace before he retired is what he looks like. And he never was, a cop. And here I am. I look like a long-haired dirtbag, pot-smoking hippie. And, I did a lot of police work. And as always, to my order followers, I just want to tell you guys, my prayers are with you. You guys are going to be in some hard situations. I've said this before. You're going to have an area of decisions to make that are going to be in this little zone of bad to worse, okay? And they're going to want you to possibly do immoral things under the guise of law, but that doesn't make them moral. So understand what real morality is. Follow my work, follow other people's work, check it out, and get to know. If you go to my website, spiritualanarchist93.com, I've got other links on there. Check out their work. If you understand what actual objective morality is, then you'll understand that why I'm a no to coercion and why I'm a yes to consent. Okay? Because you have to understand objective morality so you don't do immoral things. Now, with that said, I think it's going to be set up in such a way where this country has some major problems that's coming up, and our military is going to be engaged in a conflict with China, and is what it looks like. I don't have to be a military strategist or a general to see what's going on, even though I was a Lance Corporal, and you ask any Marine, that's a very high rank in the Marine Corps. I was very high ranked as a Lance Corporal. But if our military is engaged in a war with China, we got major things going on in this country, and the police and medical people here in the country can't handle it. Things are happening. Hospitals are getting shut down, and cyber attack, and all these things happening at once, and food supply chains, and do ad chaos, order out of chaos, as the Freemasons say. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. It's exactly what they're doing. So what's going to end up probably happening, guys, is you may have to work along with these blue helmet guys called UN peacekeepers that are going to end up getting sent in here. Mark my words. I'm probably fucking right on that, okay? Just saying. So be prepped for that. And to my order followers, understand how they're setting the stage and what's going to happen, because in the next couple of years, that's coming. And by 2030, Agenda 2030, they've got a goal to try to reach by then. I think our goal should be to not let them reach it, right? But you can't. You have to be able to not get so caught up in all the, all the dross, all the distractions that they have you distracted with, okay? Online distractions, fake news distractions, complete freaky combat sport events that are just ridiculous, okay? This is almost like what happened in Rome. I can go on forever. I could do a whole thing on this. I'm not going to even get into it. But anyway, happy Tuesday, everybody. I don't want to stay on here all morning. This is supposed to be a coffee morning rant. Fuck tyranny. Fuck tyranny. Love for your fellow human being, love for freedom, love for this country, love for this world. No boundaries. One world, new world order, absolutely. New world government, hell no. Okay? With that said, man, everyone stay safe as you possibly can. And until next time, I'll see you guys.